Music is a big influence in my work.
I zone out as soon as I start listening to music. When I'm listening to music, I know exactly what I need to be doing, and I just zone out from everything else.
Because it's more than just an influence in terms of how I use it. It's more in terms of how it influences what I create. I take a lot of influence from musicians like Logic, because he focuses a lot on real world issues and reaches a really large audience through it. Like even people that don't listen, like even though people aren't his target audience, they do. They listen to it because it speaks a message, and I think that's what I kind of want to achieve with my work.
I listen to a variation. I listen to a lot of pop punk, but I also listen to quite a lot of Rex Orange County and Tyler Creator, so sort of moody sort of music. And that kind of influences, because I do an art degree, it kind of influences the way how I paint and how I draw. I have a different style now. I've started listening to that kind of music.
Music influences my work from the early stages of whatever I do. I do a lot of creative work, so thinking up of new things. Music is a big part in it, just envisioning stuff.
I guess I should really admit, when I was growing up, I'm on the autistic spectrum, so I'm more of a simple fella. So I never really grew up in the conventional sense, unlike everyone else. Like Iron Man, I was too scared to watch Iron Man, so I prefer much more of the kid-friendly sort of stuff. So the type of music I listened to for many, many years was mainly like Disney soundtracks. I know, I'm really sad, aren't I?
I think the variety and different genres, different artists, they give you new ideas and stuff to think about which you wouldn't get if you just listened to, say I just listened to one artist, one genre. I think I don't know, if I've got my headphones in while I'm working, I can be drawing something and that song will change and I'll change the whole drawing because of the way the song is. I just think it's really useful, especially for artists, in a way that's different to someone if they were doing maths. It also keeps you focused, which I suppose if you were doing something more academic, it's good, but I think it benefits artists much more.
I remember seeing Martian, a guy he's stuck on Mars and he uses poo to grow plants. Great film. There was this an album, a song in there, it was Starman, and I watched it with my brother and I asked my brother, what was that song? And then that's how I learned about David Bowie. And that's how I sort of got into listening to much more grown-up music, we'll call it. So that's kind of sort of spun off from there. So I don't really have a particular taste in music. I just listen to anything that sounds half decent to me. I quite like movie soundtracks. I quite like that.
If I was going to say it means stuff to me, like more of a film look at it, it means if I was looking at music, I'd look is it related to a film? If not, then why? What about stories, that kind of thing?
It means quite a lot, because there's days where you don't want to talk to anyone and you struggle to find a lot of creativity, and it's kind of it gives you a boost and it gives you sort of a helping hand towards a lot of things, definitely changing my mood. I always listen to music.
Well, it just helps me relax and helps me concentrate on what I'm doing. It just helps give me ideas for different things.
Music is a big part in most of my projects. I always make sure to pick certain ones. I do think a lot about the emotion in the videos that I make. So sometimes the music will be really slow, or sometimes it'll be fast, pick up a pace.
I'm very musically based. Before I decided I was going to do makeup and that, I was going to do music tech, music performance and everything like that. I love performing, I love writing, I love doing covers, and I love listening. So it's sort of an integral part of me, really.
My name is Darcy Gerrard and this is Bath Place Music in Taunton. Music means a lot to me. It's meant an awful lot to me right from the word go, from when I was about 7 years old when I first started to learn to play musical instruments. and I've played instruments pretty much ever since, listened to various types of music. I've heard music evolve, I've heard improvements in music, I've also heard music get a bit rubbish over the years. So when I moved to Somerset in 1996, I was actually a IT engineer. I then saw a job going in a local shop in Taunton called Westside Music Centre, and went there as a keyboard piano salesman. That then evolved into me being an engineer, repairing instruments for them, and that's pretty much what I've been doing ever since. Yeah, it plays a huge part in my life, not just my job, but music out of work, means a lot to me. You'll get sort of very young people, or very young children rather, who want to learn to play a musical instrument, and you know, over the years I've seen young children become adults and their playing abilities evolve, and they're obviously very similar to me and very similar to everybody else. Music is a very important factor in their lives. But also I've seen over the years much older people, retired people, that again listen to music. Music's been an important part of their life, but they've always wanted to learn to play an instrument, but believed they didn't have the ability. And it is quite surprising how much later in life you can actually take up the hobby of playing a musical instrument, whether it be a guitar or a piano or even the drums for that matter.
Okay, my name is Nick Brace and I'm Artistic Director at Action Track Performance Company, which is a music theatre charity based in Taunton. Music for me is two major parts of my life. It's my career and it's also my passion. I work within the studio and also out and about doing workshops with different kinds of music, different genres, different performance and spectacle events, creating shows, but also I play at home and I sing and do it for my own enjoyment as well. It's clear that it affects youngsters and adults when they come into an environment where that is the sole reason to be there. It's not like working in your bedroom or working in the garage with a band or working at home with a few friends to kind of make music. When you come here, there's a kind of professional element to it, which means that hopefully you can be encouraged to do your best, and that's a really good, as I said, catalyst for kind of growing in your musical skill and your musical networking. The most enjoyable aspects of working in a recording studio are seeing and hearing things as they progress and they develop, taking tracks from sometimes quite a kind of sketchy background or starting point and looking at ways in which we can jam them out so they sound great, or record them using different instruments, finding different ways of tracking stuff, playing with ideas without necessarily having to kind of come up with something absolutely fixed straight away. Studio is often seen as a very intimidating place, but hopefully here we don't work on that basis. It is true, you do have to get it right, but the great thing is that you don't have to get it right first time.